What's going on, Gin Pros family? Thank you for joining us today on a Monday. Tony, how you doing today, brother?
John. I listen. I got a lot I want to get off my chest today. A lot I want to get out there, and what better way to do so than on our live stream? I'm happy to be here. It's a perfect Monday, bringing the mojo. Let's just, you know what, John? How about we just dive right into it?
Let's dive right into it. Let's talk about the first topic. So we'll give you guys a Masters recap. We'll talk about it a little bit. I'll let Tony kick it off. But if you missed the podcast from last night, I definitely suggest you take a look at that. A lot of great information on there, a lot of great storytelling, analogies, things of that nature. Definitely worth your time to check that one out. Probably do it following the stream since we're already live here. So get dialed in, get comfy, and we'll do that. So Tony, talk about Hideki Matsuyama, and we'll talk about some others that may have fell apart or didn't find their groove over the weekend.
So I had a lot of time to think between last night after the podcast and today. And of course, the Masters was a big topic at work today. A lot of people think they're professional golf analysts. Okay, they think they're Sir Nick Faldo up there talking. So I had a lot of time to think about it. And the more I thought about it, the more I was impressed and the more I was rooting for Hideki, after he has won the Masters. Super humble guy, extremely thankful. I watched some of his interviews on ESPN, watched some of them on CBS, and just, again, other than the fact that the guy couldn't speak an absolute lick of English, okay, we even came in high. I think John said 5.4 was going to be how good his English was. It was an absolute goose egg. Guy couldn't speak a lick of it, okay? Outside of that, his interview was very humbling. He was thankful for it, talked about how he hopes, this inspires his daughter and other, people over in Japan. So I was just now, listen, I might be fangirling a little bit over Hideki Matsuyama after hearing him at, post-Masters win. Now, this is where the controversy is going to lie, okay? This is where the controversy is going to lie. To me, the most memorable Masters moment is 2005 when Tiger Woods chips in. Was that on 18 he chipped in?
I don't think it was. It might have been 18. I think it was like 16. I think it was 16 because he had the water right in front of him there.
I can't remember what it was, but that chip in essentially won that Masters for Tiger. Okay. And every time you see the Masters ripping and roaring and going, they always play that video, okay? It was an absolute hell of a shot, and it's extremely memorable. John, there's a picture of Hideki Matsuyama's caddy bowing on 18. The sun is setting. Have you seen this picture?
I saw it was actually a video. I saw the video.
Yeah, him bowing and almost giving Augusta its props at Augusta. Now, I'm getting goosebumps even talking about that. Just and what I think that, to me, that is surpassing Tiger on my most memorable Master moments, just because of how important it was for the entire country of Japan and how much respect Hideki and his caddy not only have for the game of golf, but for Augusta National, and them showing their respects to Augusta. Because I think a lot of those golfers, I think a lot of people in the tourney, which I don't blame them. If you play the thing every year, you tend to, take it for granted. And you could tell that Hideki and his caddy had so much appreciation for that course. And to me, that picture, I'd love to get that picture framed to put, if I had a man cave, okay, put it in there, because that's such a powerful picture, from the Masters.
Yeah, I don't know if I can agree with you that it tops the Tiger chip in, but it's definitely a big moment. It's definitely huge for the country of Japan. It's huge for Hideki Matsuyama. They talked about, I think it was 2011, where he won the low amateur over at Augusta National. Yep. So 10 years ago, coming off of, a big drought. a winning drought and winning the Masters. I think that's huge for Hideki. It's big for his confidence. But there's some others that fell apart. Jordan Spieth fell apart. He just, I don't know if he really fell apart. He just didn't get the job done. He didn't make all the shots he wanted to. He didn't really have a great day on Sunday. Xander Schauffele obviously fell apart on hole 16, the par 3, hitting in the drink, and then, chipping over the green from the drop area. So taking a triple there didn't help his cause much. But listen, the Masters really shows its teeth on Sunday. It shows its teeth the entire 4 days,
Yes.
but
Yes.
you got to be able to, roll with the punches and manage and really you got to be good at damage control. Because if you're not good at damage control, you're going to have a really tough time at Augusta National. So the guys that were good at damage control, they made it to the final day and they made it to the top 20. Hideki proved to be the best at damage control, and he came out.
Well, I mean, even on
the green
Sunday,
jacket.
we were watching, we were glued to the TV. Remember, Hideki dropped a stroke really early. I think on one. I think he bogeyed one.
Yep.
And, listen, he said to himself, probably in Japanese, it probably wasn't in American. He said to himself in Japanese, hey, get your head out of your ass. Okay, you haven't won this thing yet. Let's get it going. And then played a phenomenal round of golf, after that. But let me tell you this. Xander Schauffele, okay, if you're watching this, which I'm sure you are, I'm sure he's out there watching our Gym Pros live stream because he knows I got a bone to pick with him. After 16, Xander Schauffele had a deuce right in his pants, okay? I mean, he just dropped a steamer clean in his drawers, okay? And I bet he still has that in his pants. I don't know if I have seen a bigger meltdown since Jordan Spieth blowing the Masters than Schauffele blowing his opportunity to win the thing. Because if he hits that, if he after birdie, let's just say he pars it or birdies it, Hideki, I think at that point gets rattled. And I don't know if you can rattle a Japanese guy. I heard they're pretty mentally tough, between the ears. But I think Schauffele would have had a good chance. And he just simply, Augusta National swallowed him whole and spit him out.
Yeah, it was a tough bone. It was a tough one to pick. Tough bone to pick for Schauffele, especially, dealing with 16, dealing with all the water. It's a daunting tee shot. You got the galleries with COVID. These guys haven't really seen the galleries that they were in Augusta. So dealing with all that stuff, just putting the ball on the green, Hideki if Xander really, all he had to do was put the ball on the green on the putting surface. He could have put it on the furthest right side of the green. It took the water completely out of play. Honestly, his shot was right on line. I don't know if he didn't hit it flush or if he didn't use the right club or what happened, but you changed the script there a little bit, and that could paint a completely different picture going into 17 and then 18.
For sure. What I think happened is on 16, instead of having a hot dog between his legs, he had a hot dog bun between his legs. Because he hit that thing with, that was like a beeper tee shot off. Well, that was even better probably than a beeper tee shot off a tee box, but it wasn't
way
good.
Better.
Yeah, it just was not good. And then, excuse me, you saw what Hideki did though. Exactly what you said. Hideki played it as far right, on the green as he did. And I still think he bogeyed that, didn't he?
I think he might have.
I think
he had a 3 or 4 stroke lead at that point. If he 2-putted, then he would have parred it. But I don't know. He might have parred it. I couldn't remember. But I know after that hole, after seeing what Xander did, he was pretty lax. At that point, Hideki still had to put in the fairway, and then par or whatever on 17, and then go into 18 and hit a tee shot down that crazy tunnel. Fairway. I had to look, 10 times
longer than it was.
Well, 10 times more narrow than it looked. And it's already looking narrow, from the broadcast. So if it's looking like that to us, it's got to be looking like, a couple inches from his point of view. So I got to give Hideki credit for finishing clutch and giving him a couple strokes in the end of it to give him a little bit of a cushion going down the stretch and, securing the green jacket. So props to Hideki. And all I can say is I'm excited for next year's Masters.
So let me just ask you this, John Jay. Okay, throw a little bone your way. Who was your biggest disappointment?
My biggest disappointment, probably, well, just given the circumstances, definitely Justin Rose. I was not impressed with what he was, able to do, even after Saturday or after Thursday. After Thursday, seeing him Thursday play and come back from 2 over and finishing out 7 under, and then seeing him replicate that on Friday, replicate it again on Sunday or Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Through Saturday, he's still 7 under. So he didn't gain any strokes. He didn't lose any strokes. And then to not be able to capitalize and then lose strokes on Sunday, there's just so many missed opportunities there. And he's got to go back to the drawing board as far as, figuring out where he went wrong, what fell apart, where he didn't capitalize, right. All these different areas. I mean, he's really got to be kicking himself. He's probably kicking himself, just as hard, if not harder than Jordan Spieth did in 2016. So.
Oh, I mean, Spieth was a meltdown. I mean,
that's tough. I went back and watched that last night. That was tough to watch. Then Danny Willett, not only that, but Jordan Spieth had to put the green jacket on Danny Willett at the end of that. So that wasn't too much long after he had that meltdown.
For sure. I mean,
had to be tough.
You talk about as a fan, like it was even hard to as a fan to watch because you're like, holy cow, this guy has completely forgotten how to play golf right now. Just completely mentally just said, you know what? I should just pick the ball up and throw it because I got a better chance at doing it that way. But yeah, Rose, man, it's tough. You can't say he wasn't consistent the first 3 rounds, okay? Because he was consistent. I mean, he shot a 65 on Thursday. 72 on Friday, Saturday, I think, and then Sunday, when he had all the opportunity in the world, when they talked about his iron play, his putting, he just dropped the deuce.
Yep, dropped the deuce, shot 74, went down to 5 under. And, it's heartbreaking. You feel for him, just like you feel for so many other players when the stakes are so high. You can watch it through the TV screen and really feel the pressure. And it's only a fraction of the pressure that the players are feeling. So to watch that and really to, be able to take that, at face value for what it is, it's really important to do that. So I'm trying to think of some other guys that let me down. Dustin Johnson really fell apart. Your boy Max Homa didn't get the job done, didn't make the cut. Rory McIlroy. I mean, there's tons of guys that didn't make the cut that should have. So a guy that I thought was going to make a run at it, surprisingly, was Phil Mickelson. He didn't really do that. Didn't really, put the foot on the gas. I haven't really been seeing the fire out of him. I know he still has it physically, but it's the mental capacity that I think that Phil is. He's become more of a family man. His kids are getting older. So I feel like he's, not completely as involved in the game of golf and the entire thick of it as he used to be. So that's just part of growing up and part of, being a father and doing other things. You have different priorities that you got lined up. So you got to, pretty much pick one or the other. And you can't really half-ass the game of golf. You got to whole ass it. So,
I mean, you got to put your whole ass out there. I mean, the whole ass has to be present because if half your ass is present, you're donezo. To me, biggest disappointment was Justin Thomas. I mean, he looked like he didn't even want to be there. Okay, he was up, towards the top of the leaderboard after Thursday, and then I think after Friday he was still within top 5, and then Saturday, Sunday he just absolutely pissed himself. There he is. What's
How we doing, Mr. Sobolewski? What's going on?
You guys all right or what?
Hey, we're better
right
now.
Huh?
We're better now.
I couldn't go against you guys. I ran my ass off for you two guys.
Well, we appreciate it.
You didn't have to do that.
I was just listening. You guys pretty much nailed it. I don't have much to add.
Really? You got to have something to add.
Oh, I do. First of all, Max Homa, did he catch his flight? Is he flying Southwest?
I mean, I think he's flying Spirit after that performance.
Well, I'll tell you, Matsuyama I thought was fantastic. You know, I talked to you, Tony, yesterday.
Yeah.
All sincerity, it's good for across seas. I saw a great interview late last night with Kevin Na about how that's helping their game over there, and I just think it's fantastic that he won. You know, Justin Rose shot one good round, and you can't do that there. You got to shoot 4 good rounds, and you know, when I say 4 good rounds, I'm talking. You know, what ended up winning, 10 or 11?
10.
So basically that's, you know, a couple under here and there all the way across the board. And
right. Right.
Couple, you know, the one guy that disappointed me, and he probably disappointed you, Tony. I had him across the board, and that's JT.
I mean, what did he piss himself? I mean, what happened?
Did you hear that shot on what was it, Saturday into 15 that he dumped it in the water?
No.
The third shot on 15 is what I think set him off. I mean, he played it he played the hole perfect. He went back, got probably a wedge or a 9-iron and bumped it down there 150 or 160 yards and left himself a full wedge in there. And it sounded like a knuckleball coming off the golf club, and he knew it as soon as he hit it. As soon as it went in the drink, it was over for him. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can't say that just because, you know, these guys got so much talent that it's just it's amazing. And I mean, I think that, you know, he was the biggest disappointment. I think you guys, I just caught you caught on John. I think you said DJ, right?
Yeah, Dustin Johnson. Yeah.
DJ's a missed MC. You got a couple guys out there that Cantley's another one who didn't even, you know, he caught an airplane out.
Right.
You know, some of these guys just, you know, I don't know. But
so let me ask you this, Sobleski, does that because you don't see those guys miss cuts. You just don't. I mean, it's very far and few in between guys like that are missing the cut. Is that attributed to Augusta? Is Augusta just that daunting to where if you don't show up 100% in between the years and physically, you're going to be leaving by Friday? Do you attribute that, or just
no? I think every dog has his day, guys.
Yeah.
Put it into perspective, man. It's you know, it's no different than Cal Ripken going 0 for 3.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the best guys suffer, and unfortunately, this week was the week that those guys kind of fell out. Look at Rory. Rory's another one that, you know, I almost picked him. I'm glad I didn't. I told you guys I saw him miss 3-4 footers on the putting green on Wednesday.
Yeah, you did.
And I said no. I'm not. There's something wrong with him. I'll tell you who made a strong run that was phenomenal is John Rahm.
Yeah.
I think I told you yesterday, Tony, that somebody was going to come in at 66 or 65.
Right, you did.
And I think what did he shoot? What did he end up at? 66.
600. He shot a 66.
So I don't know. You know, I looked at some of the guys that I picked, and I told you guys I had Crazy Will. I mean, that Zalatoris kid ended up helping me win a little ching-ching in a pool. I finished
there
third.
You go.
So, I mean, it's just, you know, every dog has his day, I guess. And I thought the tournament was good. Saturday was good. And I really, you know, Sunday was, you know, I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter and different, you know, Facebook and all that other stuff that was kind of boring. People were taking naps. But a couple guys made a run. But, you know, Schauffele, I heard your comment about Schauffele.
I mean, listen. Here's my thing with Schauffele. Okay, Sobleski, and I do want your opinion because you're the official Gin Pros golf analyst. Okay?
I'm official.
I don't know if you know that or not, but you are. Okay.
I know nothing.
So
I only call it the way it is.
A guy like Xander Schauffele.
John Bink, have you seen John Bink hit a 5-iron?
I have. It's very impressive.
I mean, I saw him and his dad play. They can play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me ask you this. A guy like Schauffele, okay, he's going into 16 after ripping 3 straight birdies, okay? And I think on 15, it was a tough birdie. He was out of the sand. He puts it, 6 inches to the cup and tap in, okay? Then he goes to 16. And Sobleski, you just cannot make that kind of mistake. You just can't. That's like Tom Brady throwing an interception in the Super Bowl on the 7-yard line. You just don't do it.
All right, but with all due respect, and I agree with you 100%. But what about Matsuyama?
What about? What? He was just that good.
It's a bullet on 15. He could have made double there.
Oh yeah. He did save it. He saved it. Yeah.
I mean, when I heard that, I mean, I saw the shot, and it looked like a 747 taking off a bit, And I mean, it was gone. And I was with a group of people, and I said to my family, I says, you know what? He makes double, and Schauffele's now only 1 back. It's a whole different game going on to 16.
Yeah.
Think about that.
You're right.
Or here's the other part that people don't realize on 15, where that pin was cut. If he got cute and just nicked it just thin a little bit, and it ends up rolling off the front of the green, don't kid yourself. Who made 8 or 9 there a couple of years ago? I mean, it's not out of the question.
Yeah.
Well, Schauffele almost chipped in from that bunker too.
Absolutely, John.
That changes everything too.
John, you nailed it. I thought it was in.
I thought it was in too.
If he makes that for eagle, then Matsuyama is definitely thinking, I better not chili dip this, or I better not Vin Scully this, because if I do, I'm making double, and it's a 4-shot swing, and the next thing you know, it's tied.
Well, because that's what John kept saying at the house. Is this is a 4-stroke swing if that does go in for eagle. And John made a really good point last night on the podcast, and today it seemed like it was about damage control. Like it seemed like you couldn't compound mistakes. And Schauffele, you put one in the drink, this and that. Then from the drop zone, he sends one to Topeka, Kansas. It seemed like he airmails the green.
Yeah.
It looked like me out there, Sobleski, is what it looked like.
No, but you're right. You bring up a great term, and they use it. It's very true. It's damage control, and those guys get a little tight out there. I mean, you guys watch it, you see it. You start steering a 3-wood on 15 off the tee, or you start second guessing yourself. And the next thing that's what I liked about this Zalatoris kid. Did you watch him?
Oh yeah.
But it seemed like he had a lot of coverage.
Oh shit. He had nothing to lose, man. The kid got in. He didn't even get in. He got in by crawling up the board of the top 50. That's how he got in. He wasn't exempt. He played his way in the last 4 or 5 months, 24. And I mean, he had nothing to lose where the rest of these guys did,
Yeah.
And I just the one thing I will say to you that is true is I think we're in good shape with golf in the USA. If you look at all these young kids coming up,
right?
It's Zalatoris, Spieth, Thomas, all these young guys are coming in, and and it's interesting that I got company. But it's good for golf,
That's all right.
I think it'll be interesting to see how things pan out over the next couple of months with the next majors. And I forgot the PGA. The PGA is in May.
Yeah, right around the corner. Yeah,
couple weeks out. So,
Sobleski, let me ask you this, and you probably missed it because you said you kind of caught on when we were talking about our disappointments. So there seems to be this universal monumental moment in the Masters, and it's 05 when Tiger chips in. Where did he chip in? Was that on 18? He chipped in from?
No, I believe that was 16.
Okay, John, that's what John said. John said 16. So he chips in on 16, and it's a huge moment. This and that.
How old were you guys? Like 2?
I was 10.
Yeah, I was 9.
John, you were playing basketball with me at the gym.
Yeah, probably was.
Ollie B. You were watching my competitive side, my real.
Oh yeah, those are the good old days.
Well, listen, you know what's cool? You know what's cool about that shot? You remember the Nike logo?
Yeah, how it showed on the ball as it was like hanging on the cup. It showed the Nike logo on it as it went in. That was sweet.
Yeah.
So that moment to me is coined as like the universal Masters moment, because it's a huge moment for a guy like Tiger. But I'm going to tell you this, and every time I've talked about it so far, I've gotten goosebumps. Okay, and I'm probably going to get goosebumps again. When the video was released and the picture was released of Hideki's caddy walking back out to the flag and bowing, almost giving his respect to Augusta. I mean, it to me, that is so monumental, not only for the Masters, but for golf as a whole. Because like you alluded to earlier, it's so big for those guys over in Japan, the international players. And to me, that picture is going to be framed, and that moment is going to be huge for the game of golf moving forward. And to me, I think that has passed, and that might be my favorite Masters moment, just because of how much respect you could tell Hideki and his caddy had for what they just accomplished and what they did.
Yeah, no, Tony, you're on. You're spot on in the respect. That's basically what it boiled down to. And I agree with you 100%. And I saw a picture from a coworker today who's a huge golfer down in Kalamazoo. Huge golfer. He's the president of one of our divisions, younger guy. He actually played with a guy by the name of Steve Wheatcroft, which is no longer on the tour, but he was on the tour. He played. He's a Big Ten guy. Played at IU. Long story short, is he showed me he held up on a Zoom call that. Did you guys see the picture of Hideki at the Chicago airport this morning with the green jacket?
Yeah.
I saw that.
45. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, it's good. It was a good tournament. It was good for them and good for him. And, the last thing I was going to say to you guys is, did you catch the end where, it's been 10 years since he was low am?
Yeah, John touched on that.
That was the poetic. That's right. That's a pretty cool story in itself.
For sure.
So, I mean, you look at the next 3 or 4 weeks, the PGA moves out to, I guess it's out at Torrey Pines, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys recover, your Cantleys and your DJs. You got a lot of those guys that are California kids, and I'm sure we'll touch base prior to that event too.
For sure.
And don't forget
about we'll make a big deal out of it.
You know where they are this week?
Where the heck is that, Sobolewski?
Harbor Town.
Is that Harbor Springs?
Harbor Town.
Sobolewski, is that even in the U.S.?
South Carolina, dude. Hilton Head. That's where they're playing. They're playing Hilton Head this weekend.
Okay.
Down at I want to see Davis Love lives down there, but
okay,
it'll be a good event. We'll see who shows up.
And what I think my biggest takeaway with the Masters, and I know we're wrapping up our Masters recap, but sport, like people they romanticize sports so much because sports are romantic. I mean, you look at a guy like Hideki, who 10 years ago wins Low-Am. He struggled the last couple years, didn't really, have any defining moments. And then boom, 10 years comes into Augusta and wins the Masters. I mean, there's to me, Sobolewski, you can't make this stuff up. You couldn't make it up if you wanted to.
No, you can't. And before I cut here real quick. The one thing I would say, and a couple of people asked me, and I don't even know, maybe you guys asked me last week, but I do believe that the golf course played a lot differently than it did in November when they had it. And I think you could, I don't know about you guys, but I noticed that the greens were a little brownish. They didn't look, I don't know, but it was firm and fast.
Well, it sounded like concrete whenever the ball hit him. I mean, geez.
Well, until after that rain delay. That rain delay softened everything up. You saw what he did. You saw what Hideki did the last 10 holes of his round. Freaking shot 7 under.
Right.
That's what catapulted him into the lead, So, but yeah, it was a good event. And, we'll see where the chips fall. How did you end up making out there yesterday, Bieberman?
Did
you take a little right to the?
Yeah, so I took that one right on the chin. I took Sunday right on the chin. Got a little emotional and threw some coin on Rose and didn't happen. Then threw a little bit on Spieth, which listen, I don't think Spieth played a bad tournament. I mean, for his up and down kind of weekend, he still was within 2-3 shots of the leader. He's right there, man. He's right there on doing it again. It's just 2 or 3 holes that he's got to button up, and I think he was putting on a green jacket. Yeah. It took Sunday on the chin, so hopefully we bounce back for the PGA.
That's all right. So yeah, guys, it's always fun with you guys, and I'll continue tuning in. And,
absolutely.
Just let's get some people signed up for this Corona Cup.
Yeah, let's do it. That transfers us into it. So we'll just wrap it up right here. So deadlines are approaching.
I am plugging you. I'm out, guys.
Enjoy. I know you are. I appreciate you. All right, Sobo. Thank you.
All right, be good, guys.
Later.
All
right, so we'll talk about the deadlines, and Sobo's great. He's a great analyst for us, and he does a great job giving his input and telling us. He's our sports analyst guy for golf, so we're really excited to have him a part of the team, and everything he does is always appreciated. Let's talk about deadlines for a second before we sign off here. So we got the Corona Challenge that's closing here in 3 days, so get signed up as soon as possible. The price may or may not be increasing after the 15th, so that might be a little bit of an indicator to get signed up while you can. So I know I'm going to have a ton of people in my inbox being like, hey, I really want to be a part of this Corona Challenge. What do I got to do? You know what I mean? I'm going to get a ton of those messages probably on or after April 15th. I know I am. It happens all the time. We never really had the chance to, promote this kind of event this early in the year before it actually takes place. But with other events in the past where the deadline will be, a lot shorter, we'll have people come to us after the fact, after the deadlines are past us and want to be a part of it. So don't be one of those people. Get involved, be a part of it as soon as you can. And we want you guys to play in it. So make sure you get signed up. And also the beer dye tournament is coming up this weekend. So you might have missed the boat on that one. We just kind of want to plug that one more time. That's coming up this Saturday, starting at 11 o'clock. Registration will be at 10:30. We're going to do it all here at the Gin House. So we're going to have, however many teams we got, the drinks will be flowing. It'll be a great time. We're going to have two tables going. It's going to be crazy. There'll be rule, officials everywhere. I'm actually playing the tournament. Tony, I don't believe is, but he'll be there, in his official's uniform with the rule book in hand, officiating and doing his thing. So if you haven't got registered for that, get registered. I'll give you between, today and the next 3 days. So what's 3 days from now is what, Thursday? Yeah, 15th is a Thursday. So I put it on the website. Check it out. The website's right there in the bottom right hand of your screen. It's on there. Go to the, I think it's the news tab. Click the news tab. There's a little update on there to get registered for both the Corona Challenge and the Beer Dye event by the 15th. The 15th is the day. So it's a big day for everybody. Get your taxes in. Have your taxes done by the 15th. Get registered for the Corona Challenge and get registered for the Beer Dye tournament. Very simple stuff. Put it all on the same day so you can put it on a sticky note, throw it on your monitor, and you're good to go.
That's a productive day. That's a pretty productive day. If you get registered for the Corona Challenge, the best golf tournament in the entire United States, you get registered for the Beer Diet Tournament, the biggest beer diet tournament in the entire state of Michigan, and you do your taxes. I mean, if you can check – now listen, if you got to do 2 out of 3, there's always a tax extension. Okay, if you got to do 2 out of the 3, there's always a tax extension. There's not a Corona Challenge and a Beer Diet extension. So make your priorities, put them in check, put them in line, and get registered.
You don't want to get too behind on your taxes, though, because next thing you know, you're going to find yourself in prison. And then when you drop the soap, then it's just not a good thing. So, listen, just get it all done. And really, it's not even, a triple whammy kind of thing. It's not do it all on this day. It's do it all because it makes the deadline easier. Have everything done by this day. That way there's no, you got to take the middleman completely out of the equation when you can. This is one of those opportunities where you can do that. And you had ample opportunities to do it. So, listen, if you either signed up or you didn't, and I'm going to have people coming. I mean, people probably watching the stream either now or afterwards are going to be like, oh, I'll probably do the Corona Challenge. It's not till June 20th, June 19th. I can do that. I can find a partner. That's fine. That's fine. There may or may not be spots left.
Yeah.
But listen, you just take the middleman out and, you'll be good. So we'll be pounding our people back in our hometown about the Corona Challenge just to get registered, get involved. It's for a good cause. For the Flushing Christian Outreach Center, we'll be giving them a substantial donation, and there'll also be a prize money for first and second place. Prizes for longest drive and close to the pin. There might be, some other events, some other, type of fun deals where we have, either a raffle. If we have something that's been tossed around, it's called a Vegas hole. That's another option. Go ahead.
Suggestion.
Let's hear it.
Suggestion for the Corona Challenge wet t-shirt contest.
I like it.
We'll work on it.
Give me a memo. Give me a memo on that. Put it on my desk by
I will.
by Saturday night. We'll talk.
I will.
How's that sound?
I like it.
Sounds great. I like it too. That's a great idea. Keeps things interesting, and don't forget it's for a good cause. So
don't forget,
all the better,
absolutely.
all the more reason to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Good deal, Tony. Hey, well, you got anything left to plug? I feel like I touched almost everything, but I might have missed some stuff.
Gin Gaming is ripping and roaring. Our gin streamers are kicking ass. Thank you guys so much for what you do for us, and thank you for the people who have been supporting them. Look forward to some tournaments that they will be hosting here shortly. Always, guys, moderation's for cowards. Life's too short to bet the under, take the over, and always, always, always bet with gin.
Good deal. Just wanted to throw another plug out there. Thank you to the Corona franchise of events that presented us with these new graphics today. Didn't want to, undermine those. You can see the website in the bottom right. You can see the handles for both Instagram and Twitter in the top left for both Tony and I. So make sure to check us out on all those social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter. Find us on there. Give us a follow, shoot us a DM, whatever you got to do. Get involved and get in touch with us, and we'll talk soon. But get registered for everything. Moderation's for cowards, and always bet with gin, guys. Have a great night.